It happened during one of the coldest winters my family had ever experienced in upstate New York. We'd been through our fair share of storms, but this one felt different, like the kind that forces everything alive indoors, that silences the world beneath a blanket of white, that makes even the wind sound lonely, the kind where, if something was out there with you, you wouldn't know until it was too late. My wife Erin, our 12-year-old son Milo, and I had settled in early for the night. The storm had rolled in fast, turning the neighborhood into a blind swirl of white. By 7 p.m., we could barely see past the edge of our backyard. The back porch light flickered like it was struggling to stay alive in the wind. The forecast called for below-zero temperatures, 40-mile-per-hour winds, and nearly 2 feet of snow by morning. We weren't worried. We had heat, power, food, and nowhere to be. We were warm, safe, comfortable. At least we thought we were. Around 9:30, the wind picked up, whining through the seams of the windows like the house was a ship bracing against an angry ocean. We were watching a movie, wrapped in blankets, the kind of calm winter moment you almost take for granted. Then we heard it, a knock. Not gentle, not accidental. Frantic. It came from the back door. Erin and I froze. We looked at each other, confused. Milo sat upright, his eyes wide. "Did someone just knock?" he asked. The knock came again, 3 rapid, desperate slams against the back door that made the picture frames on the wall vibrate. Erin jumped up first, worry overtaking her face. "Someone might be hurt," she said. This storm, someone could have slid off the road. But our house sat at the end of a quiet cul-de-sac. The backyard bordered a line of trees, and beyond that was a frozen creek. There was no road behind us, no reason for anyone to approach from the woods in a storm like this. Still, I followed her toward the kitchen. The knocking continued, louder now, mixed with what sounded like a voice calling out, "Please, please, let me in. I need help." The voice sounded close, right against the door. Something about it sent a chill through me, unrelated to the cold. When we reached the kitchen, the lights flickered. The knocking didn't stop. Erin reached for the curtain covering the back door's small window. I gently grabbed her wrist. "Wait," I said. "Someone shouldn't be out there. That's exactly why they might need help," she argued. I slowly pulled the curtain aside an inch. What I saw made my stomach clench. There was nobody there. No person, no shadow, nothing. Just the porch light flickering through a sheet of snow. What was there, what made my skin crawl, were the footprints. A set of deep, unmistakable tracks in the fresh snow, leading directly up to the door. But there were no tracks leading away. It's just one set. Approaching, ending at the door. The knocking stopped abruptly. Erin stared at me, confused. "Where is he?" "There's nobody," I whispered. As if in response, the voice outside spoke again, closer. "Shh. Please, open the door." But the window showed nothing. No figure, no shadow. Nobody. I shut the curtain quickly. "Ow." "It could be someone collapsed out of view," Erin said, panic rising. "We can't ignore them." I hesitated. The footprints, the voice. Something was wrong. "Milo," I said, "go to the living room. Stay away from the windows." He nodded and backed away fast. The knocking came again, violent, shaking the entire door. "Why can't we see them?" Erin whispered. I didn't have an answer. The knocking stopped. Silence. Then our doorbell rang, the front door this time. Erin gasped. Someone had moved around the house incredibly fast. I took out my phone. A motion alert popped up. Backdoor camera. I opened the feed. A figure was standing on the back porch now. A person. Inches from the camera, staring directly into the lens. But the face was wrong. Blurred, shifting, like the camera couldn't focus on it. But the eyes were crystal clear. Wide, unblinking, fixed. A whisper came through the audio. "Please, let me in." Erin covered her mouth. "Turn it off." I couldn't. The figure leaned closer, its face distorting like something trying to imitate a human expression. Then it smiled, not relieved or pleading. A knowing smile. As if it understood exactly where we were standing inside the house. The front doorbell rang again, louder. I swiped to the front door camera. My blood ran cold. The same figure was standing there. Same distorted face. Same clothes, same posture. It had moved from the back to the front, without passing any motion sensors or windows. It knocked slowly. "Let me in," it said. The voice wasn't desperate anymore. It was mocking. Testing. "Call 911, Aaron whispered. I did. The call wouldn't go through. No signal. The storm had cut us off. The lights flickered once and died. The power went out," Milo screamed from the living room. We ran to him. He was pointing at the sliding glass door leading to the backyard. The figure was standing there, pressed against the glass, grinning. There were no footprints leading to the door, no disturbance in the snow. It was just there. Milo sobbed, "Dad, don't let it in." I pulled him close. Aaron stared in frozen horror. The figure raised one hand and tapped on the glass. Tap, tap, tap. "Let me in," it whispered, though its mouth didn't move. Then every window in the house shook at once. Not from the wind. This was rhythmic, controlled, like something huge had landed on the roof. Milo buried his face in Aaron's coat. I held them both. The tapping stopped. The figure vanished. Silence, except for the wind. Then footsteps above us, slow, deliberate steps across the roof. Then it stopped directly above the attic entrance. A soft creak sounded from the ceiling. "Is it in the house?" Aaron whispered. "No," I said. "The attic is sealed." A dragging noise followed, like something sharp tracing the edges of the attic door. We stayed huddled in the dark while the thing paced overhead for what felt like hours. Eventually dawn tinged the sky blue. The storm quieted. The footsteps stopped. When full daylight came, I checked outside. There was a single trail of footprints from the woods to our porch. No trails returning. The police came after the roads were cleared. They searched the yard and woods. They found nothing. No missing persons. No evidence of anyone in the storm. They couldn't explain the footprints. Couldn't explain the security footage. They couldn't explain the voice. Even now, months later, I check the backyard every night. Not because I think it's coming back, but because sometimes, late at night, when the wind hits the house just right, I swear I can hear it faint, tapping against the glass. Slow, rhythmic. "Let me in."